Hello everybody and welcome to the new section of Accounting 473, Advanced Financial Accounting. I know a colleague of mine down the hall does a little introductory video in his nice, pristine, and neat office at his nice and neat, pristine desk. Obviously, I am not him. In any event, I wanted to go ahead and just sort of reinforce some of the things I sent out via email regarding the importance of keeping up. In this course, as in many courses, what you learn in one week is built upon in a subsequent week. If you don't understand the material in week 4, you're going to have a really hard time understanding the material in week 5. Essentially, if you don't understand the material in week 4 or 3 or 5 or 6 or what have you, then you're almost wasting your time trying to cover subsequent material because you don't have the foundation to integrate it into your knowledge. Now, in addition, each page in each module is important. This course is divided into 14 weekly modules. I have spent untold hours creating content for this class. I don't put things up because I'm bored. I put things up because they're important to the subject matter. Now, there's going to be a weekly assignment due every Sunday night at midnight. And unfortunately, a pattern of behavior I've seen develop, which never works out well, trust me on this, it never works out well, is people will essentially ignore the course until Saturday morning or Saturday night or maybe Sunday midday, and then they'll go in, they'll look at the assignment and say, okay, I need to be able to do this. Topic, if there are 10 topics covered in a module, the assignment might cover topic C, and so the student will say, aha, I need to be able to do topic C for the weekly assignment. They go through the course pages, find an example similar to the assignment, and then work through the assignment using the example in the course materials as a template. And they complete it, they submit it, and they think, aha, I'm done with this week's assignment. I can go to bed and worry about the next module next week. The problem, of course, is that the student hasn't really learned the material at all. They've ignored 9 out of the 10 topics, and for the 10th topic, which they did do the assignment for, they didn't actually learn the material so that they could do the assignment when faced with a blank sheet of paper. They were able to copy a template and complete the assignment using by relying on copying a template. That's not going to work. When it comes time for the midterm or the final exam, those exams are closed book, closed note, proctored, and timed. You will not have the opportunity to go back and find similar examples to work through. You have to be able to do the work independently without referring to your notes. Now, this brings up two related issues. First, if, on Sunday night at midnight, September 8th, for example, that's going to be, I believe, the night the week 2 module is due. You finish the week 2 assignment and say, well, gee, I really didn't master the material in week 2. I did what Dr. Emily really said I shouldn't do, which is I simply did the assignment by referring to another example, but I'll come back and I'll learn the material later. So you were too busy to learn the material during week 2. When the midterm rolls around, you're going to be just as busy learning the material in week 8. You're not probably going to have time to go back and master the material from week 2. Additionally, since week 3 builds on week 2, you're going to be behind the 8 ball when you try to do work in subsequent weeks. For this reason, I can't stress enough, you need to keep up with the material. A second thing is that there are lots of examples. Sometimes they're called examples, sample problems, homework. I've been adding materials to this course for a number of years. These examples and sample problems, you need to work through them. And I know it's awfully tempting. You look at the question, you read through the solution and say, oh, I can do that. That's no problem. That's fine. I know how to do that. And you think you're done. You need to sit down with a blank sheet of paper and try to work the example without referring to the notes. What I might suggest, go ahead and, work through the first example referring back to the course notes. Second example, try to do it, without referring to the notes, because again, that's the condition under which you're going to be taking the midterm and the final and the CPA exam if you go on and sit for the CPA exam. So again, you have to work through the assignments, you have to work through the examples. And out of a given weekly module, there might be 3, 4, 5, 6 different types of questions. I'm only going to ask 1, or 2, or 3. That's sort of a sampling just to keep people honest, just to say, hey, you keeping up with this stuff? When it comes time for the midterm and the final, that's when you're going to have to show you've learned all this stuff over the course of the semester. Now, I would love to have all the students rise to a level where I could give all A's and maybe a few B's in this class. That would just thrill me to no end. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen. Historically, about a third of the class gets an A, which is wonderful. Again, it makes me really happy. The class is at the other end of the distribution. They're getting D's and F's. It makes me very unhappy to give failing grades. It makes you very unhappy, obviously. This, for a lot of you, is the last class you're going to be taking. You're at the end of the road. Don't stumble now. You've put in how many years, how many thousands of dollars, put in 15 weeks, based on a standard expectation for any course is that you need to put in for a 3 credit hour course, you need to invest anywhere from 10 to 15 hours per week. Put in that 10 to 15 hours, honest hours. Don't simply turn the computer on and then, leave that browser window open and surf to, open a new browser window and do whatever you do when you like looking at the web. 10 to 15 honest hours per week of study and preparation, and you should be in fine shape. Now again, this course, as I sent out in a previous email, this course is based entirely on notes and content that I've created. If you like, I've sent out a list of advanced accounting textbooks. You notice up my bookshelf up there, I've got, and on my floor here, I've got probably a half dozen, 8 or 9 different versions of advanced accounting textbooks. They're all a little different. None of them I really care for in terms of the mechanics of what we're going to be working with. Rather than make you pay $250 or $275 for a new textbook, which we're not going to be utilizing for the mechanics of the main topic, I would suggest that if you buy a copy of a used advanced accounting textbook, anything subsequent to 2008, 2009 should be fine in terms of conceptual content. If you get one of these textbooks and you like the way they handle the mechanics of business accommodations, by all means feel free to complete the assignments using the textbook method. If there are 8 different textbooks, they all use a different sort of roadmap to get to the solution, but they all come to the same solution. I would be more than happy to grade any work that's prepared in a manner consistent with any textbook or any resource that you happen to find, as long as the answer comes out correct. Now obviously if it's just randomly correct, that's another issue, but again, there are a lot of paths we can take to get to our desired solution. How you choose to get there is entirely up to you. I've created this content based on a way which I think is the most intuitively appealing and the most easily extendable to more complex or more varied situations. So, good luck. I hope everybody does really well. Please keep up. If you find yourself with questions, please feel free to email me. I check my email numerous times per day. If you email me on Sunday evening at 7 o'clock saying, Dr. Amley, I don't understand this thing for this assignment tonight, there's a good chance I'm not going to get back to you by midnight. I check my email numerous times a day, but I've got a life too, and I often shut it down in the evening and spend time with my family or do things that I have to do. Okay, so best of luck, do well, and I hope everybody passes the course, and I hope I have a lot of A's and B's and a lot of very positive outcomes. Good luck.